Alright, this lesson is 10-6. You're going to be learning about the surface area of pyramids, cones, and spheres. Alright, so your job right now is to get out a piece of paper, pencil, colors, as well as a ruler or straight edge. Pause the video to do that. Hit play when you're ready to go. Alright, so in order to find the surface area of a pyramid, let's start with pyramids. Surface area. You need to know that in our textbook, and so on your homework, you're only going to be working with regular pyramids. So they're going to have regular polygons. For the bases. And they're going to have congruent isosceles triangles for the lateral faces. So let me show you what that means. If you have a pyramid, okay, that means that this side and this side are going to be congruent. All these lengths here are congruent. All your bases are going to be regular polygons. That means that they're going to they're not going to be curved in, they're not going to be concave and like all wonky. You're going to be able to use one of our polygon area formulas in order to find the area. For a polygon, you can use what's called the slant height. Let me do this in a different color. The slant height is from the vertex out to the side. It creates a right angle. Okay, that's called L. It's called the slant height. Okay, so slant height is the height of the face. It tells us how high is this lateral face. Again, think of altitudes. It's where you have a right angle. These corners over here are not necessarily right angles. But this corner that you've been given is a right angle at the slant height. L is a right angle to your base here. So you have a base and then you have L, your slant height. So you're going to use the slant height in order to find the area of the lateral faces. So your lateral face area is equal to 1/2 actually, let's back that up. It's going to be equal to n, which is the number of lateral triangular faces. So in this case, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 for a pyramid, times 1/2 base times the slant height. Because your triangular area, in this case, your height is your slant height. So it's L instead of H. Okay, so in this case it would be, if I gave you your n would be 4, because you have 4 distinct lateral faces, and then you would plug in whatever your base number is and whatever your your slant height, not lateral, your slant height is, in order to find the lateral area. Another way to do this, this formula can become, instead of having to plug in the number of lateral faces, you can just say it's 1/2 P times the slant height, where P is the perimeter of the base. Okay? So you have P, whoops, is the perimeter of the base. Okay? So we have lateral area equals, this is the easiest formula to use, 1/2 perimeter of the base times your lateral height. Okay, so that means since you know that you only have one base, our surface area then, we have one base, right? So our surface area is going to be our base, so there's only one, plus our lateral area is all these sides, all of those areas, front, back, all four of those, that's this here. So we have base plus our lateral area equals the surface area of a pyramid. So we're going to do a quick example of that. If I have a pyramid, oops. (16 centimeter slant height, 12 by 12 centimeter base. Alright, so we're going to find the surface area of this figure. So the surface area equals your base plus your lateral height. Or sorry, not your lateral height, your lateral area. So we can find our lateral area. It's 1/2 the perimeter of the base times the slant height. So our lateral area equals, well, let's plug in what we know, 1/2 perimeter of of this regular pyramidal base. Sorry, not pyramidal base. Regular rectangular base would be, well, 12 by 12 by 12 by 12. So 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 times our lateral area. Sorry, not our lateral area, I keep saying that. Our slant height, which is 16. So times 16. So we have 0.5 times 12 times 4 is 48 times 16. So our lateral area equals 384 centimeters squared. Okay, so we're going to add up our base area. The base area equals base times height. So our base area equals 12 by 12, because it's just a square base there. So it equals maybe 144 centimeters squared. So now for our surface area, we're going to add up our lateral area and our base area. Maybe, right? So 384 plus 144 is 528 centimeters squared. All right. So that's how you find the surface area of a pyramid. Now we're going to have you do an example. If you have a pyramid, so let's draw a pyramid with a square base with an edge of 20 feet. So if it's a square base, square base and it has a 20-foot edge. That means both sides are going to be 20 by 20. All of these are congruent. And the slant height is 8. Oops. I'm going to undo that. Let's do it in a different color. So congruent bases, and then we have a slant height of 8 feet. Okay, find the surface area. Hit pause on the video, hit play when you're ready to go. Well, our surface area equals, you should have found 720 feet squared. Whoops. I'm going to number for my feet there. Feet squared. Just make sure you have your squared there. You should have had your lateral area is 1/2 the perimeter times the lateral height, slant height. Wow. So your lateral area equals 1/2 the perimeter is 20 times plus 20 plus 20 plus 20, so 20 times 4. Right, if you were to track this around, 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. Times your slant height is 8. Okay, so 20 times 4 times 8 times 1/2. You have your lateral area is 320 feet squared. You should have found the area of your base. Your base is a square, so 20 times 20, or 20 squared, is 400. You're going to add these together, 400 plus 320, so that's 720 feet squared. All right, moving on to the next example. So we found surface areas of pyramids now. Now you're going to do surface area of a cone. Oops. Of a cone. So if you have a cone, has a radius, and then you have your side from your vertex down. So the surface area of a cone, your slant height is right here on the side. You don't even need a separate number. You just look at the side length. That's your slant height. That's L. And then you have your radius here from the center of your circle. So in order to find the surface area, think of like, whoops, if you had a cone and you unrolled it. This is kind of what it would look like. Whoops. You would have these lengths here, this length, as well as this going around. That's your circumference. And then you have this here, lateral height, and you have your radius. All right, so the lateral area is going to be 1/2 times your circumference is 2 pi r times your lateral height. That would find you this whole area in here, your lateral area. So you have your your slant height times your circumference. We can simplify this down, so lateral area equals, cross those out, just pi r slant height. Okay, so now we know that just our surface area, the cone, I'm going to draw a cone. Oh, maybe I won't draw a cone. That doesn't look like a cone. Of a cone equals pi RL plus our base area. And your base area here, you know, is going to be pi r squared because it's a circle. That one's constant. So let's do an example really quick. Okay, if I wanted to, let me draw it first. Okay. Okay, so I want to find the surface area of this shape. So my surface area is my lateral area plus my base. Very much like the surface area of a pyramid. It's just my lateral area formula is a little different because I have the circle base instead of a polygon base. So instead of just the perimeter, I have to think circumference. So my surface area equals, I need to find my, I need to find my lateral area first. So my lateral area is going to equal, let's plug in what we know. We know we need the circumference, so we know we need pi r, it's pi RL is our lateral area, so pi times r is 4, plug in what you know, times your lateral height is 10, so that equals 40 pi. And your base area is going to be equal to, your base area is pi r squared, so that's pi times 10, r. R is 4, so pi 4 squared, so 16 pi. So now our surface area, we're going to just add those up, so 40, 40 pi plus 16 pi, that equals 56 pi. We can multiply 56 times 3.14. We're going to get 175.84, so we can round up to about approximately 176. That's going to be centimeters squared. So our units were originally in centimeters. All right, I'm going to have you do an example by yourself. So you're going to find the surface area of a cone that has a slant height of 39 feet and a radius of 7 feet. Okay, it's plug and chug. Plug it into the formula for surface area equals lateral area plus your base, and then chug away. Pause the video, check back when you found your answer. Alright, you should have found your lateral area is going to be your circumference times your slant height. So lateral area equals 39 times pi r, so pi times 7. Seven times 39 is 273. So 273 pi is your lateral area, your base. Base is pi r squared, so pi 7 squared, so 49 pi. You're going to add these two together and plug them in. So your surface area equals 273 plus 49. That's 322 pi. Okay, multiply by 3.14 and round to your nearest whole number. So that equals, whoops, 101.2. Whoops, no, it's 0.08, so it's 101.1 feet squared. That's your final answer. 1,001 feet squared. Okay, now moving on to a sphere, which is kind of fun. We have a sphere. We have a radius, right? And that's all you know. All you need to know for a sphere is the radius. So the surface area of the radius is 4 pi r squared. Think of like 4 flat circles. A sphere basically has the same area just as 4 circles with the same radius. So this is the pi r squared is the area of one circle, so we're just going to multiply by 4. For example, think of like a basketball that has a radius. Actually, it doesn't have a radius, it has a diameter of 10 inches. That's like a basketball. If you were to calculate the surface area of a basketball, you know that equals 4 pi r squared. So you're going to plug in 4 pi, well, you know, diameter equals 2r, so 10 equals 2r. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. 2r. So r equals 5. So we're going to plug in 5 here. 5 squared. So your surface area equals 4 times pi 25. So pi, whoops. So that's simply 100 pi, which you could also multiply out, and you would get about 314. And our unit, we have inches squared. Inches squared. Approximately 314 inches squared. I'm going to have you find the area of, surface area of a sphere with a radius of 6. Pause the video, press play when you're ready. Alright, you should have found that the surface area equals 452.6, whoops, 0.16. And I didn't give you a unit, so it would have been unit squared. Oops. Squared. You would have found this by saying surface area equals 4 pi r squared. We plug in our radius. We're given a radius, so we don't need to solve for it. So we plug in 6 for r, and then we're going to solve. So 4 pi 6 squared. 6 squared is 36, so 4 pi times 36. 4 times 36 is 144, so pi, oops, so 144 pi, which when you multiply by 3.14, you get 452.16 units. Oops. Units squared. All right. It's now time to move on to your in-class assignment. Your in-class assignment today is on page 537. You are going to do numbers. Numbers 7 to 7 to 9. And then you're going to do numbers 16 through 18. Okay, and then your homework for tonight is practice book, page, lesson 10-6.